cylinder head. This is where even more magic happens. As you can see, we've got the big opening on the front there where we took the timing chain out, and then followed by two journals where the cam rides. And on top of that's your rocker arms that operate those two, they look like Frankenstein's neck pieces. They're the valves. The way to get those out is you compress that spring with this handy dandy homemade tool we're going to show you in a minute. And there's two little chunks of steel that actually keep it attached. The round cap on the top is going to come off of the actual valve, which are the tube in the middle. I guess that's what we're going to do here in a minute. We actually made our own tool out of a piece of copper pipe, ta-da, and a vise. Well, a clamp of some kind. They actually make a special tool that you can get, and I might even have one, I don't even know.
We're showing you the way to do it without spending money.
We're cheap bastards. And this is how we're going to do it, the way that you can do it, probably for free, in your own home with just garbage you have laying around.
It's a good tour.
We're going to do it to it.
We need a C-clamp.
Today's program has been brought to you by the letter C.
All you need to do though is take a piece of copper pipe, make sure it's the right size, make sure it's not too big or too small. And you just either do the way I do it, file it, or get a good saw, cut it. You just got to make a notch so you can get out with a magnet, because like you said, there's two little tiny pieces of steel shaped like almost like a C. And they sit on there and they hold this piece of metal. It holds the spring down, keeps your valve up. Let's take them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, holds the clamps.
Yeah, holds those pieces, those chunks, will sit in a groove on the top of the valve and hold that keeper piece in place, which holds the spring in place, which springs off the actual cylinder head, which holds the valve in place.
This is dual spring though. It's not like a car.
It's a push me, pull you kind of deal.
Yeah, most ATVs, dirt bikes are dual spring. Not sure why,
Because they're cool like that.
I guess. But you can't just do it by hand. They don't really move by hand very easily.
I mean, maybe you can, but we're not you, so.
Yeah, if you're Hulk, do it however you want to.
Or if your head's like shot, or if you're just. Maybe you're on crack or something, I don't know. I don't know you. I don't know what you've been through. But we're going to turn it up on its side somehow. Holding.
Now, I had a piece of cardboard.
Cardboard?
You want to put a piece of cardboard on the actual valve, because this will destroy it.
Some kind of cushion would be nice. We're going to do the carburetor side first, the intake side, the intake valve. That's the side we're on.
I know that. Hold that.
Moose knuckle. Oh, that's like a perfect. Oh my god, if this clamp was an inch smaller, it wouldn't work. Oh, we'll just let it lay like that. Make it life a lot easier. Alright. Oh my god, we're so uncoordinated. Yeah, this is fine. That one weird angle here. The clamp has to come towards me a little bit, like my end of the clamp. Oh, we're bumping on the carburetor tube. Let's do the exhaust valve for now, just for an example. And then we'll come back through later on, in the future. Marty, we've got to go back to the future. And we're going to take that carburetor tube off, if that's even possible. I know Mary Ann here was complaining about it, so I'll have to take it off.
Just make sure the copper pipe stays in place so you'll lose a clip like I did on my Jeep engine.
Damages! Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
I know, and get it straight. But a little bit of pressure and eye coordination. You get it. He brings that into the light. I'll show you.
As you can see, we have this nipple sticking out now. And now these chunks of steel kind of fall out into our homemade cup here. If you roll it this way, it should fall out into my hand. I've got one. And I I guess that's it. Oh, there it goes. A 2, a 3. No, there's only 2. And they're just kind of a funky little monkey.
You barely see it on the camera. That's how small it is.
But I mean, if you think they're supposed to be one thing and it's split in half, it's not. It is actually 2 pieces.
You can see them right there. They're just a little, if it'll focus, they're just little tiny C's. You can't really see them, but they're just a little C and they have a little indent on them, or outdent, whatever you want to call it. Nipple. Nipples. A little nipple that sits into.
We've got the inner spring, the outer spring, and the cap. Cap's got that on it.
There's a little groove right here, and these clamps will sit right on there perfectly. Make sure you keep them on a magnet or in a cup or something, and you'll lose them. Then you gotta buy more, and that's money. You don't want to spend that.
Money?
This is a good time to check your valves too, see if they're rusted. Which these ones seem like they're pretty good. They're not even really worn. For an 84, this thing's in pretty good condition.
Considering you've had the living hell beaten out of it on a regular basis, it's in decent shape.
Yeah, we don't treat this thing with much love.
If you really wanted to, you can see there's like a that's all carbon, followed by this shiny spot on the very edge on this little last ledge here. You can kind of see it if I move it in the light. That's your actual contact surface. What people will do, this one isn't bad enough to need it, but there's a special device that suction cups onto here, and you would twist it in a template that would actually freshen that up with some lapping compound and make that a nice edge. And if it's really bad, they actually have a valve grinding machine that will spin it like a lathe and actually take a small surface cut on it and make a fresh mating surface that it will seal with. The actual valve seals
They're hard as hell to get out.
you're going to need a pair of pliers, possibly.
I got my road find ones.
Oh yeah, road finds.
Alright, so
We had a
now
little camera difficulty as we were talking about road finds. Apparently he found these on the road, and they still function just like regular pliers, except they were free. 5-figure discount. But all we did was we squeezed them and turned them into this very angry and sad lime looking thing, like a globfish. But they still came off. All that really holds them on is this metal ring, kind of looks like a tiny key ring that pops on. The end of it kind of looks like the very end of a bottle, like a glass bottle. In order to put these things back on, you gotta be careful not to ruin that key ring I was just talking about. And basically just start and work in a circle. And eventually it kind of walks right on.
do it with one hand.
Always keep one hand in your pocket for good measure.
But if you're buying a kit, it's most likely going to come with O-rings, gaskets, your seats for your valves. So when you take, if you can, he magically was able to, got the carburetor tube.
Yeah, the carburetor intake manifold tube thing, whatever the hell you might call it.
It's got an O-ring right here. You just pop that out with a flathead or screw.
Oh my god!
A nail. While you drop it
Your
everything.
wiener, whatever might work.
You just slide it off. This one's, you could see, is perfectly flat. Throw that away. New one, my man.
See if I can pull out the right one the first time, like the first time I did this. Alright. I'm at a total impasse here. I have two that are very, very similar. No.
You just push it in there. There's these little tiny indents, outdents, whatever you want to call them, nipples.
Nipples!
And it just slides in there, and you got a brand new one that sits not flush to it. You just set that down. He's in your way.
Well, we're going to do the same thing but backwards. We're going to, now that the valve has been reinstalled with the 2 of the springs and this handy dandy cap thing, and the little chamfers in it that ride nicely on the valve with the 2 springs.
This is where stuff gets fun.
Oh, we're gonna learn some new curse words here today, folks.
Yeah, because you got to work with this little door to put them back in. Do it, I guess.
We're gonna do it to it. Where is the cardboard? Still stuck to it? No. You have the valves out, dumbass. It's right here, in front of your face eyes.
Yeah, in front of my face eyes. You couldn't see it.
Oh my God, I saw it. I'm that guy.
Give me the copper.
I'm literally the guy in the pit.
The pipe with the door.
Door pipe. Crack pipe.
Make sure you can get at the little door.
Door.
Hole, whatever you want to call it.
Door. Put those valves in.
Alright. You take these little clamps and you figure out how to drop it in there perfectly.
In this case, he's probably going to want to use a magnet.
Magnet with a nail.
Nails.
Any type of nail will work. Roofing. Floorboards. Whatever.
The boots under the floorboards.
You just take a magnet, put it on there. Unless you got one of those fancy magnets on a stick.
Money steak.
Now, if you can see it, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. You see it's more like a cone shape, it's not a perfect circle. The big spot of it has to go on the top. Make sure it's like that when you put it in. Make sure you can't see a thing when you do it.
If you're working in places where you can see, if you're not totally blind, you're doing it wrong. And make sure that the magnet does not let go of it.
As I take the magnet off.
Now, what are you going to do? Now it's on the other side.
Now, out of my lovely magnet collection, you get another nail. That one holds it there.
What you might also do if you want these things to stick to that valve, now I'm thinking about it, is you could put a little light coating motor oil on there just so it'll actually just stuck to the valve.
Say that after I put one in.
I'm thinking about it now. If this doesn't work, that's what we'll do. 2 magnets are very close together. Let's see what happens.
Alright, I go real slow. Nope, not working.
Oh God.
Your idea sounds smart. Alright, so after you get the clips on, use some grease, oil, whatever holds the clips on for you.
When you get angry enough, you have to call the fire department several times.
Yeah, all we did was you used a magnet with a nail, put them on there, and we used
These handy dandy carpenter's chopsticks and actually held them. We pried them off the side of the pipe there and held them in place while we started letting the spring back out.
slowly let it go, and it'll fall off for you, so you don't gotta loosen it all the way.
All nice and convenient like that.
And then, you got brand new seats on your valves. That's basically all you gotta do. But we'll do the other one off camera, so you don't have to hear us freak out. And that's basically it. There's not much to it. It's a little difficult with the cheap way. You could buy the tool. I don't know how much it is off the top of my head, because obviously I don't own one. But next week we should have our video up where we're starting to put the whole thing back together.
Oh joy.
Yeah, if this was this hard,
That's going to be probably either a lot of videos or one long video. Probably a lot of videos just to make it easier so you can seek out what you need.
yeah, so it's not so long, because I'm pretty sure no one really wants to
Sits
watch.
and watches a 50-minute video.
Yeah,
And if we did it in segments where you look on you search on YouTube, 200M clutch. We'll go into just the clutch just for that video. That way later on when you search up clutch, you know how to put that clutch together, or you know what parts are there if you're about to take it apart.
but next video should be up probably Monday. This one will probably be up tonight, this Monday. So, catch you guys later.